Let's talk about blade geometry with flat grinds, because flat grinds do have the potential to be some of the best cutters you can get. You can think chef knives. Now, if a flat grind is short and not very broad and it has a thick spine, it has to rapidly taper down to the edge, which makes it not a great cutter. It's more like an axe. Now, you can stretch that out a little bit so that, you know, you can slowly get down to the edge. But if you start with a thin blade stock and a broad blade, it gets down really, really thin. The height of the blade matters, and then the thickness of the blade stock. And the slower it can taper down to that edge, the slicier it will be. And there's a reason why people love hollow grinds so much, because you can have somewhat of a thick blade stock and then it concaves inward, getting down to thinner geometry. However, you still have the shelf of the thickness of the blade to get over when passing through materials. With a nice full flat grind, it slowly tapers all the way up. There's nothing in the way, and it makes it pass through materials extremely, extremely well. The new Sencut here, the Sencut Phantara, in my opinion, does that very, very well. 120 thousandths blade stock with a very broad blade, and it kind of reminds me of an XL PRAXIS. It is a little bit longer, but it's bigger in every other dimension, as you can see, and it adds multiple deployments. Now, the CIVIVI PRAXIS has been known for being a high-performance work knife, or, you know, an affordable EDC tool that actually excels in a lot of things. It has a beautiful spear point blade. It is nice and slicey, you know, and, you know, good action, good ergonomics. It's just a great all-around knife, and it's affordable. The new Fantera does it even better, arguably. Now, if you don't like this broad of a blade, then maybe not, but it will definitely slice and get down to a bit of a thinner edge. I measured this one around 12 thousandths here to about 15, 16 thousandths here, and because of the way the geometry is, it passes through super, super well. The ergonomics, very broad handle, so it's also not only super comfortable, but it's also slim. So it's not like it's big and thick. It's just, it's more broad whilst being slim. So it's very comfortable in the hand, but it is a big knife though. So you have to appreciate a big knife. This would probably be a little bit more of a full-size knife for a lot of people, but some people like a nice large knife. 9CR 18 MOV steel, G10 scales. It does come in different options though, so they have the wood grain versions and, you know, different color options, satin finishes. Deep carry clip that's reversible, and I really like the sound of this thing. Listen to the sound. You can really hear that lock bar engage. I'll go really slow. That lock bar just yanks the blade right in, making it nice and secured. The action's really good. Flipper tab's very comfortable, well jimped, perfect amount of resistance from the detent, and then you have the reverse and thumb flick. The detent is a little bit stronger on the reverse flick, but a lot of people like that, and in order for the flipper tab to have a good detent, you know, it worked out. It worked out well. T8 hardware all the way around. The sharpening tool and blunt drive's okay. You'll get a couple good sharpenings in there. I prefer it to be a little bit better. Now, I want to bring up a couple more, because if you like the style of this, but not the size, you can check out the HONORIS. The HONORIS is actually going for 25 bucks right now. I'll link it down in the description. It is discontinued, but it has a lot of the same features. T8 hardware, 9CR 18 MOV, spear point blade, decent geometry, actually nice geometry, liner lock, deep carry clip that's reversible, same action, but like I said, much more affordable. I think you can even get the wood grain versions for like 25 bucks. They're like over 20% off right now because they're discontinued, but there's only so many, and once they're gone, they're gone. Next is the Sencut Serene, a new version of the Sencut Serene. This is a green option. Now, I'll get through this quickly because I feature this on the channel quite a bit, or at least the other versions. Now, I say that this is some of the best money spent as far as on an affordable pocket knife because of the handle. It has solid aluminum scales, which does cost more than, say, the steel liners with micarta or G10. It does use D2, hit my camera. It does use D2 steel. Phenomenal detent in action. They have a very grippy thumb studs that has nice traction on the thumb studs. They basically grip you back. And it's lightweight, super slicey, fantastic blade shape. Now, if you don't like aluminum handles because they're scratch, they'll get scratched up and things like that. Some people don't like aluminum. I think aluminum's cool, but you also have the Sencut SACHSE, which is in micarta, but has the same action. So you have the same thumb studs, basically the same flipper tab, same button lock action, except for it's steel liners with micarta scales. This one's in 9CR18 MOV steel too, so you're getting a stainless steel here. So that's something to check out. Now, if you don't want a button lock and you don't want a thumb stud, you can go with the Vesperon. The Vesperon is a multi-deployment knife as well. With, obviously you can get different scales. This one's the wood grain, but the 9CR18 MOV drop point blade, it's got a relatively tough and slicey blade at the same time. So it's gonna be a pretty versatile tool. Again, all of these are built pretty much the same. And that's why basically whatever style you want, you really can't go wrong with them. They all have T8 hardware. They're all, built with, basically to the same quality and standards, which is really high for the price. Like, there's knives that are super rough around the edges at this price range. So now, one of my favorites, if not my favorite, the Watauga. If you want a Wharncliffe, this is one of the most useful Sencuts you can get. It does use D2 steel, and it has a stonewash blade. Beautiful Wharncliffe. This is going to be hyper useful for EDC. It is on a button lock action, which, like I keep saying, they have mastered. Again, same build quality, TA hardware all the way around, deep carry clip that's reversible. Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. This is a fantastic user. All these knives are. This one just basically beefs it up a bit, but because of the beefiness, you can feel, you can feel the strength in the liner being increased and things like that. So it does have a little bit of a different feel to it, and to me, it's coming off as a not better quality, but it is a little bit more satisfying in some ways. But even the sound of it, like I keep saying, I don't know if it's coming over the mic, but I love it. Anyways, just a quick look at some of the new knives from Sencut. Possibly, or probably my most recommended knife for this price range. I say if you're in this price range, Sencut, CIVIVI, there's a couple other companies, but they are probably my go-to recommended knife. No, they are. They're absolutely my go-to recommended knife as far as that price range. Work hard, stay tough. Until next time, peace.